Welcome, everybody. My name is Chris Neto. I am the Market Development Manager here at Starin, and I am very proud to be here today, considering that I am not in my usual spot, as you may have heard in my previous intro. I am on the road, remote, doing the work from home, living the nomadic or digital nomadic lifestyle. Yeah, if you think that way. I'm actually away at a conference, so I'm able to do this hopefully today. And if there's any hiccups, I do have a backup plan. So the one thing with AV, we do like to have our backup plans in case something goes wrong. Joining us today is PTZOptics and HuddleCam. These are two brands that we have carried and worked with for a very long time, at least since I've been here. And we're going to bring on William Golde from PTZOptics, who is going to give us a run through of all the exciting news that they have coming off of IBC. So, William, are you there? Because we're going to pop that on. There he is. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So I'm not going to have jet lag. You had some jet lag recently. You've been out and about traveling the world, international man of mystery. I can't wait to hear what else you got going on, because I read the reports. Everything looks really, really solid. You have some special news to drop on us today. But before we get to the conversation, I got to do some quick housekeeping. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a Q&A button at the bottom here. If you would be so kind as to drop in your questions, we will answer all the questions. Typically at the end, we're going to let William go through his product demonstration and everything new that the PTZOptics and HuddleCam have to offer. So drop it right down into the Q&A at the bottom. We will get to everything. We will answer all the questions live, because I do not want to send you guys an email with homework that you guys give to me. That's not fair. I didn't like homework in school. I don't want work. I don't want to do any homework now. With us today as well is Mike Luttermoser. He's in the background. He is the wonderful producer that PTZOptics is working with. So you're going to see some cool stuff, because that's what they do. This is what they specialize in. So it's a show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the town hall that a lot of people look forward to, because they show us what we can and should be doing more when it comes to video and video-esque production. This is something that they make possible in their studio offices, but their studio is something that you can replicate and do using their cameras, using their gear. And the folks over at PTZOptics are great when it comes to sharing their, hey, this is what we do, and pulling back the curtain. So one of the things that we like to do with the town hall is focus on the people and focus on who is the brands that we have, but there are people behind the brands. And today you're going to get to know William pretty good. So William, I'm going to hand the keys to the car to you. You are now in driver mode. Take it away, my friend.
I appreciate that. And way to talk me up. Now I feel like I have to have, like dancers come out. We got to have Mike. Did you get the flamethrowers for this one? All right. We got pyrotechnics. We have the dancers coming out later in the show. So
awesome.
I guess the hype is definitely worth it. We'll get there. But between here and there, let's talk business. Let's talk cameras. Let's talk the new stuff. And yeah, I very much appreciate the digital nomad lifestyle. As you mentioned, we just went out to IBC 2022 to debut all the brand new products for both PTZOptics and HuddleCam HD. And we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, actually, we'll just get into that right now. Chris, anything else from you, or can we just go ahead and take it away?
No, go right ahead. Man, I'm boring compared to you. I have no cool graphics. I got none of that stuff. That's why I'm relying on you. This is the one show that I can take back.
All right, perfect. Give me the ball, coach. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Quickly, just as an introduction, if you're not aware of us and our brands, my name is William Golde. I operate here as the global head of sales and the director of channel development. Pretty much I oversee the Starins of the world and try to help you at the reseller level to engage with our brands on a better and more effective manner. Just to let you know, if you're not aware, we've actually added some team members to our team this year. So we have a full-fledged staff of reps regionally based here domestically to handle any questions for you and your clients. So if you do have any questions, by all means, reach out to myself, reach out to my team. We are growing as a brand, we're growing as a team, and we want to help you out. And with that, what we are talking about today is the roadmap of PTZOptics and the direction that we are headed with our products and how that's going to affect you and your business and the programs and things that we have in place to try and help you with that. So without further ado, I'm going to pop into my presentation. I know death by presentation, we've all been there. I'm going to make this one quick. I'm going to make this one fun, and then we'll get to your questions because I love to engage with you, the resellers, to answer the questions you have. So what is happening at the end of this year and moving into next year? Guess what, everyone? The new cameras are here. That's right. So if you aren't aware, or maybe you are, from the IBC discussions, we are launching into the 4K realm with our new PTZOptics cameras. Now, before we get to the new PTZ side, I want to talk to you about a couple of cameras that we actually already have on the price sheets. Now, you guys hopefully have seen some murmurings of these. If you were with us at InfoComm, you might have even seen these face to face. That would be first and foremost our new Studio Pro camera. Now, this is based on our 12XZ cam line. So we've taken that camera, we've pretty much stripped it down, rebuilt it into an all-in-one studio camera. Now it comes 1080p 60, HDMI, USB-C, and NDI HX outputs, all simultaneously, of course, with PoE for ease of use and ease of addition to infrastructure. Now, what this image doesn't show is this camera also comes with a panel light. It has, oh, there we go. Thanks, Mike. This is why we pay him the moderate dollars. It comes with a panel light. That is what the camera will look like coming out of the box. So it is an all-in-one studio. It has a dual microphone array. It's got that light that you can adjust actually to blue or orange temperature. You can also adjust the brightness of it for the given environment. And it has what's called a TOF sensor, or time of flight sensor. What that does is real-time facial mapping. It basically just allows it to create a very shallow depth of field. It almost looks like a DSLR. This camera, by the way, is awesome. It literally looks like a DSLR in a Z-Cam form factor, and it's coming to market at only about $700 map to you guys. So it is a very functional, very awesome product. We're looking at things like House of Worship for this. We're thinking too, like executive work from home or even content creation. The other cool part about this camera is it doesn't only shoot landscape, it shoots portrait mode as well. So that 9:16 that you see on everyone's cell phone, that's what this camera will be able to do with the flick of a switch in the back of the camera. So we're going to open up some new marketplaces with this camera. We're really excited about it because it's a space that we've never been in before. And we just want to see what people are going to do with these cameras. And that's the awesome part about our jobs, is that we can make these technologies, put them out into the field, and then let the creatives be creative and come up with different use cases. So that's first and foremost the Studio Pro. It is live, or should be live for you. So if you have any questions about that, we can definitely help answer them in the near future. Our second new small form factor product that we have brought to the marketplace and is in our warehouses. I just got confirmation this morning. We have these actually physically in our warehouses. The MiniTrack 4K. Now, if you're familiar with our previous webcam models from both PTZOptics and HuddleCam, it looks very similar. However, we are upgrading this to have a 4K image sensor. It's got USB 3.0 over USB-C output, built-in microphone array, and then the really important part about this is its AI ability, or AI-assisted auto framing and auto tracking technologies. Now, use cases, we're really thinking about this for like esports, again, going into that creator space. The reason we have auto framing and auto tracking on this is oftentimes when people are sitting at their desk, they might shift, they might move, environments change. Or if you're Chris Neto, you go on the road and you end up in a different environment and you don't know what it's going to look like. So you could use this camera in a multitude of different environments where it will frame automatically, it will track, it will auto frame, and it is only in a small form factor. If we cut to our overhead here, you can see this is what we're dealing with. It is our HuddleCam MiniTrack 4K, extremely slim, extremely small form factor, but so feature rich. This is going to have so many different functionalities that other webcams aren't going to have. And this is coming to market at only $199 map. So a very competitive price point considering its tech spec. And also we have upgraded packaging with these guys. In the past, all of our boxes were that cardboard brown. We've actually moved to a more consumer-friendly packaging. So if you have a showroom or if you have a space where you display products and demos and things of the like, you can actually use our new packaging to display those. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. So those are the cameras that we currently have that are already available in the marketplace. They should be on your price sheet. You should have information. If you don't, more information is always coming from our awesome marketing team. So be on the lookout for that. Now, drum roll. The reason you all came here is to see the brand new products that are going to be launched from PTZOptics in the new year. That's right, 2023, we're redoing the PTZ line. We're making it all brand new. We are introducing the Move series of cameras. That's right. So this isn't even going to be G3. We don't even want to call this G3 because it's actually not the next generation of cameras. It's a completely new lineup of cameras. That lineup is going to contain the SE, the Move, and the Move Pro. And this means we're moving into that 4K space. These are going to be brand new for us in terms of that 4K image sensor. It's going to be increased quality of image. It's going to be increased quality of optics, and it's going to be increased on the back end. We'll talk about that here in a second. Mike, let's patch back over to the presentation. So key factors of the Move camera are 4K 60. We just talked about that. This is a new realm for us. We're just jumping into for the first time. Pretty much the reason we delayed that, a lot of infrastructure pieces had to come up and get into that 4K space before it made sense for us to jump into the 4K market. In the past, we kind of thought it was a little bit gimmicky. Now we think it's a little bit more functional, and it is time to make that 4K jump if you haven't. It helps to future-proof people's systems, and it creates that better image just from the jump. Most importantly, this actually condenses our current line. So it will offer SDI, NDI, USB, and HDMI all in a singular form factor. This guy right here. So rather than having 3 separate form factors that remove or change depending on SDI or USB, you'll actually just have a single unit that can do all of them simultaneously. It will come in 12, 20, and 30x optical zooms for whatever spaces you need, meaning it's an exceptionally versatile line of cameras. And you could pretty much hot swap it. You could throw it into an existing system. If you have a G2 PTZOptics camera in there, this will work from a compatibility standpoint exactly the same as our G2 stuff. So that's super important because it also means that if you're redesigning your systems, you don't have to worry about different protocols or video delivery methods. It's all the same stuff that you're used to from PTZOptics. Now, the other cool parts about this, built-in tally lights. So we will have a little tally light in the front, green for standby, red for when that camera goes live. It helps if you have a multi-camera system. If you guys have questions about tally lights, we could do an entire presentation about that. But just a helpful and useful little tool on our cameras. Now up to the second bullet point there, built-in auto tracking, no software needed. That's right. Moving forward, we are pretty much going to enable all of our cameras or most of our cameras to have the ability to have auto tracking. And that's going to become probably a part of our CMP platform where you can deliver a lot of that to your camera systems. The CMP is in its beta phase at the moment right now. We're working to basically, round out the sharp edges of that and make sure that it's fully functional. So more on the CMP and the auto tracking side moving forward. We'll do a separate town hall about that because the CMP is awesome. It's called the Camera Management Platform. Anyway, so that's going to be the Move, PTZ Move camera. Now, the other camera that we're going to be looking at launching towards the end of this year is the Move Pro. Now, the Move Pro is a completely new form factor for us. This doesn't even look like any of our old cameras. This is a totally new design that we came up with because it kind of adds a few more feature sets on top of the Move, making it the Move Pro. So obviously upgraded optical lenses. We have the Whisper Quiet motors. They're not full brushless, but they basically allow for a nice, smooth, almost cinematic movement on those cameras. We showed them over at IBC and people were blown away by the optics on these things. It basically looks like a DSLR coming out of that camera, which is awesome. And it's not going to be $4 or $5 grand, which is even better, right? Now, speaking of AI enablement and auto tracking, this camera actually in its base will come with a beam forming microphone. And what that does is that's going to create a 3-axis environment where we can start to do things like auto tracking as well as audio tracking in the sense where you'll actually be able to track a speaker. So one of the things with our tracking systems that people have always asked about is, hey, can we track multiple different presenters? With the SimpleTrack Lite and the SimpleTrack 2 on our HuddleCam side of the world, we actually can't. And that's just because of how those cameras function in terms of motion and facial tracking. They're really looking for the thing moving the most. Audio tracking will allow us to have multiple people in the same space and have that camera move and change from speaker to speaker to speaker. Again, that will be part of our deployment with the CMP, or will fall in line with that software that's in beta right now, which will enable audio tracking. So we finally have listened and heard the call for that technology, and we'll be deploying it on this camera here, the Move Pro. Now, a little bit less important, but a thing we think is pretty cool. You can see in the base of the camera it actually has an LED screen, and that will display the IP address of the camera, as well as the resolution and frame rate. Now, the reason we did that is because that helps with troubleshooting of your system. Oftentimes, the most simple of problems create the biggest of hassles. And really, it's just, hey, are we in the right frame rate? Hey, are we in the right resolution? And, oh yeah, what's the IP address of my camera? I forgot. So it's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. These two will also have a tally light. The tally light on those will actually be on the top of the camera instead of in the ring, just a little bit more visible. And again, just another useful piece for your talent if you have a multi-camera system. So that will be our Move Pro. Again, these will be launching towards the end of the year. Now, on the HuddleCam side, and I have a less, we'll call it fancy presentation for this, but I do want to mention it, and I'm just going to mention it. We're going to kind of breeze through it, and we'll answer questions about it towards the end of the year. But on the HuddleCam side, we are also upgrading the entire PTZ line. We're going to come out with 2 new cameras on this side. It's going to be the USB and the Dante Pro. Let's focus on the Dante side here. Now, if you haven't heard, there have been some leaks out there on the social medias, if that's a thing that you do. We have brought on the Audinate team, and specifically the Dante AVH platform onto our cameras on the HuddleCam line. Now, previously, HuddleCam was very specifically built towards USB delivery methodologies. With bringing Dante on, we're going to broach that AV over IP side on the HuddleCam cameras, and that's just going to be huge for us because anybody who's in audio, anybody who uses Dante knows how huge and massive that system is. I think there's something like 35,000 OEM products using Dante right now, specifically on the audio side. So we're joining the fold, bringing video to the Dante platform. So we think that's going to be huge for us. And again, we could do an entire town hall just on the Dante side of things. So I'm just going to breeze through that and just say, hey guys, Dante is coming to HuddleCam as well as 4K on that HuddleCam Dante Pro camera. So be on the lookout for that. And that pretty much wraps up the announcements. One thing I do want to talk to or speak to and provide is kind of an idea of how we see these cameras being deployed in the future. Now, these are marketplaces that we're fairly familiar with, right? House of worship, education, corporate, government, etc. Like these words we've been harping pretty much since the beginning of the company. But with bringing on higher end or better products, we'll call it, we're starting to open up realms that we might not have played in the past. That being things like enterprise business, or even full-blown broadcast spaces. Broadcast and live streaming are now kind of melding a little bit, as well as Pro AV in general. So as we upgrade our lines, we really want to take this to the next level. We want to take our vertical targets to the next level. And we're going to be producing more and more content and more available access to those different marketplaces for you moving into the future. And that's just because we're upgrading all of our cameras. So that's what we're most excited about, is the growth not only of our camera brand, but the growth of our business as a whole. So those are the updates we wanted to tell you all about.
You done?
All right.
Good.
It was 45 minutes, and I just got a call. The dancers aren't going to make it, and the pyrotechnics burnt out already. So
please, can you, I've never seen somebody go that long, that fast. I mean, you just went the whole time, not even a drink of water, Kudos, man. And you remembered everything, didn't stumble. Very good. I'm grading you at the end. I didn't tell you that there was a quiz at the end.
Always a pop quiz. And
we don't
I know that I did run through that real quick because it's so much information. Again, we could do a town hall on each of these products specifically. Most importantly, we just want to make sure that everyone realizes, hey, we have heard what everyone has asked for, the 4K, the Dante, the audio tracking, and we are trying to throw that in the best way that we see fit. So we're going to evolve our messaging and our targets as we move forward, but really just for the reseller core out there to know, we're going in the upward direction with all of our products because that's the way we see the marketplace going. So that was a lot of information. We will obviously have some follow-up for you guys, and we can always answer questions as we go. But yeah, let's turn it back to you, Chris. Let's get into the questions. So, this is my favorite part.
My first question is all new products, all new line, whole big refresh. That means we're going to have products that we want to move. Without going into too much detail, because your Starin representatives will be able to assist with this, but some of the stuff that's out there, we can help with some special pricing, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for those of you who aren't aware of PTZOptics and HuddleCam and where we came from, our humble beginnings, I'll call it, we were an install integrator before we were a manufacturer. So we've dealt with manufacturers doing full transitions like this in the past. Some have been very successful, some haven't. And we really acknowledge that. So anytime you announce new product, right, there's always that potential that you could shift a marketplace away from your current product. Now, again, a lot of this stuff probably won't show up until the end of the year, beginning of next year. So between here and there, obviously, there's going to be plenty of G2 product or projects that just need to get done before the end of the year using the existing technologies. And we acknowledge that at the reseller level. So yeah, we've put together a couple of programs for you guys that can definitely help to move some product. Like Chris said, definitely reach out to Starin to get the details on those programs, but we can definitely try to help move some product with you guys. We don't want sales to stop, obviously. So yeah, they exist, and definitely we want to help that.
We can take pre-orders on any of the new stuff beginning when?
I believe that we're going to have prices distributed on November 1st. So we're going to spend the month of October fine-tuning everything, letting everyone's brains kind of think about how they want to deploy these new products. On November 1st, we'll go ahead and open up pre-orders for you guys so that you can get your hands on some product as soon as possible.
Awesome. Great. I think that was the only questions I have, but let's get to the audience, because the audience, I'm sure, has some stuff that they want to ask. Let's see what the first question is. First question comes in from Justin. Justin asks, has the firmware been released that allows Telnet on your cameras to be turned off? I talked with support about this a while back, and they said it was coming. Is it here?
I will have to double check on that to confirm whether or not Telnet has been turned off. I recognize the question. I actually too have been asked it. I haven't been able to confirm. We haven't done a firmware upgrade in some time, so my assumption is no. But with that said, doesn't mean that it's been swept under the carpet. We're not going to acknowledge it. I think what's happening with the firmware is once we dial in the CMP, which again is in beta right now, that camera management platform, the CMP will actually allow you to do things like, mass firmware updates and stuff like that. So I think once we have that CMP in, we'll release our next firmware update. Because the other thing too, why we wanted to go the route of calling this new line the move line instead of calling it the G2 or G3 line, right? Moving from G2 to G3. We acknowledge that the G2 line is so pervasive in the marketplace. We've obviously sold, I believe hundreds of thousands of units at this point. So we will continue to support the G2 line moving forward, and that will come in the form of firmware upgrades and potential other implementations of technologies. So the Telnet turn off specific portion, I'll have to double check, but we can definitely get back to you about that.
Sounds good. All right. Next question comes in from Chance. Chance asks, is the Studio Pro NDI capable? It's not an NDA.
Yes, it is. So it uses NDI HX, and we are in the process right now of having it certified for NDI HX3. It will come natively out of the box. So at that price point around 700 map, it will come with NDI on it. So you'll be able to throw that into an NDI environment and it will work right out of the box. No need for licensing or anything like that.
Okay. One is the next question comes in from Jared, but it's not really a question. A little kudos. PTZOptics is speaking my love language with auto follow. So I figured, how many times do you get a compliment, on a Q&A panel? This one is just a straight up compliment. So thank you, Jared. I'm sure they're now blushing in PA. All right.
I will take all the credit for that.
Yes.
That comes from our product team.
That's all you guys can all fight over who got the compliment. Corey, the next question comes in from Corey. Image stabilization on any of the new models, optical or software based?
Ooh, software based. So image stabilization is obviously difficult. Welcome to the world of left field diatribes brought to you by people that operate in the tech industry. Because GoPro figured it out really, really well, everyone thinks that it's like every camera should have it. And I'm not saying that, Corey, that's your intention in the question, but yeah, image stabilization is a hot topic. For things like GoPros, for things like DSLRs, they've figured it out really well. For PTZ cameras, because they're usually static mounted, it's not really something that we've thought of. Although I know in a lot of environments, say like live events or churches, you can have vibrations in the wall, even just from the sound system, not even just from, people there. So image stabilization moving forward, the cool part about 4K is because you have so much more information to work with. You can start to do some back end or software based image stabilization, which I believe we're looking into for the CMP side of the world. But yeah, in terms of a physical camera stabilizer, we don't necessarily have anything in the works, or we're not really going that route at the moment. But moving into 4K, we'll have that ability to do a little bit of software stabilization. So yes and no, if that helps.
All right, that's the answer. Then Corey followed that up with another good one. Full NDI or just NDI HX?
So on the Move SE and the Move, which will be our good and better product, those will maintain the NDI HX protocol. On the Move Pro, which is going to be our big boy camera, we'll call it, or our flagship camera for the moment, that is going to launch with NDI HX, and then we are looking into getting NDI HB on there, or high bandwidth, however you want, full NDI, quote unquote. There's a multitude of different, we'll call it, names for it in the industry that we've heard. But yeah, it's something that we're looking into. It mostly just has to do with information management, data management. The verticals that we target, NDI HX really seems to work just fine for those. But obviously full NDI has its advantages. So yeah, we're looking into it. Again, unfortunately, you asked two really good questions, Corey, by the way, that both come with a no, but yes answer. So not right now, but we are looking into it. Yes.
John asks the next question. John asks, have you seen any issues using NDI and Dante on the same network with the new cameras?
Yes, and that likely will never change. That's actually the reason why we decided to separate them. So putting Dante onto the HuddleCam line means that it kind of gets its own shine, let's say. And then leaving NDI and NDI HX specifically on the PTZOptics line kind of, puts it in its realm. Really, the two brands were created to serve separate markets, but as AV over IP becomes more prevalent in both Pro AV and broadcast alike, those worlds are blending. But unfortunately, putting Dante and NDI on the same network does really cause problems, and that's just because of how different those things are at their core, which again is the reason we decided to launch a full Dante AVH camera, so that if you do have Dante in an environment, now you have access to video. But if you're doing NDI, kind of no need to throw Dante on there, as there's plenty of different devices and things that you can use for NDI from an audio side. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting Dante and NDI, and this Mike is shaking his head comically back and forth saying no. So yes, that will create problems. Do not do that. That is our recommendation.
All right. Stephen has a question regarding, does PTZOptics have reps and or resources for consultants specifying consultants slash specifying engineers. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. Again, we come from a install integrator background. So we actually have access to full systems engineers. Specifically, we do have reps that are regionally based in the US. Those team members have been trained from a fairly technical basis. There's rarely an instance where I see that they can't kind of help in terms of like the engineering of a space. If it goes to, you need to redo an entire network and you need to add, these 100 other pieces into place, that's kind of the point that we would potentially bring in one of our engineers or one of our support people and maybe an outside individual who might help with that. So again, short answer, yes, we always will try to help as best we possibly can. If we need to start pulling from different places within the Haverford Systems family of companies, we can definitely do that.
We also, as your distributor, Stephen, we have access to our internal team here at Starin. We have internal design engineers that will help you lay the system out, not just from the camera, but they will be able to help you through the entire system. So yes, if you are a consultant, we can provide you. We have internal consulting as well that can help with the design of the systems. So that is a resource that we provide as well here internally at Starin. So thank you, sir. Next question comes in from Greg. Sorry, had the time zone wrong. Joined a couple of minutes late. You had mentioned, I didn't need to read that. I don't know why I did. You had mentioned something about homework. Is that for the webcam? Oh, no. I don't.
No.
No.
Greg, just send me your address. I'll send you a webcam.
Okay.
That's your homework. Yeah. You have to get a shipping address to us.
Yeah.
And because AI is pretty good, but I can't read your thoughts from here, Greg.
Okay, cool.
No.
We will get to that. Thanks, Greg. I'm sorry. I just read that as it popped up as opposed to, I think it was more of a comment. All right. Next question comes in from Sean. Sean asks, where can we get brochures, videos, etc., on a different cameras? And can we go through Starin? Starin, I can help. Your Starin rep obviously is the person that can help Sean with that. We also have stuff on our new website, which is starin.biz. If you cannot find it there, I'm sure that PTZOptics, who do a wonderful job with marketing, may have a video. Hopefully you guys at least have a video somewhere. That's all they do is produce videos, guys. They, I'm sure, have plenty of videos. They'll be able to provide. Where can people find information like this, William, for this kind of information? Yeah. Where are your videos hidden?
They are hidden in plain sight in this little place.
I'm being sarcastic. It doesn't work. Sarcasm doesn't even work over video today.
No, actually, here, I'll do this live because this is really a great resource. Best place to start is going to be our websites. Pretty much most of the content that we go ahead and produce, we do try and have it make it to our website to make it easily accessible. So if you just click on our SDI cameras, you can see right here, this is our SDI setup video, as well as kind of our product overview. And then along here, we have things like tech specs, we have firmware, integrations. So if you ever have any questions about the cameras outside of maybe it's just user manual level of information, the best resource for both PTZOptics and HuddleCam HD is going to be our websites, ptzoptics.com and HuddleCamHD.com. Now, moving from there, and the reason I make the joke about YouTube, our PTZOptics and HuddleCam YouTube channels have thousands of hours of videos produced right in this studio about a bunch of questions that people have asked us. So we definitely try to get to all of the hot topics out there when we can, make a video about it so that it's easily digestible for you guys. And it also just creates a use case for our cameras because everything in here is PTZOptics and HuddleCam. So yeah, those are the three places I would start. From there, you can reach out to us and Starin.
Yep, because we have a brand new website. Again, Starin.biz is brand new. All the information's there. You have access to your portal in there. You will find additional system information as well. And Sean, you can always reach out to me. I'm available out there if needed. I know how to get a hold of folks over at PTZOptics. They're not that hard to find, and they're but there's more than one way to find them. So direct messages, LinkedIn messages, carrier pigeons. It's easy. Next question comes in with from Jared. Jared asks, is there any notable latency for video on the SDI out?
That's a loaded question because the short answer is because SDI, right, using coax cable is quote unquote uncompressed digital video, there shouldn't be out of the camera, but then that signal is going to go into a system. However, that system is designed and developed, you could have instances where you can see latency issues, and that could be more so on like the switcher side or input side. However, you're handling that video stream. So from the camera itself, no, there should be an imperceivable amount of latency. But once you put it into a larger system, there's always something that could slow things down. And same actually goes pretty much for the NDI and NDI-HX platform as well. We really shouldn't see a lot of latency, but once you start to put that into a larger system, other forces at play may slow that image down. So yeah, latency on SDI is usually a no.
Awesome. So Jared has a follow-up question. Is there any onboard processing that delays the image output?
Mike and I are both looking at each other and trying to think through the system itself. I'm coming up with a no, because I don't think, because there's yes, but no, but it shouldn't cause any latency. No. We're going to go with no on that one.
Okay.
But I guess, Jared, by all means, reach out to partners at PTZOptics.com. If there's an instance where you are seeing issues, we could definitely try to help to diagnose that if that's the case. But
it also should be embedded into your tech spec, right? If there's any latency, you guys would be putting that information on there as well.
Yeah, because there is some internal processing happening, obviously. So it it can, but it shouldn't be perceptible. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You guys are the manufacturer. But hey, we'll get that information. Perfect. Thank you. That came from Jared. Thank you. Sorry, that was not an easy answer, I guess. And that's it for Q&A. That's the questions. That's all the questions we got. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to continue to drop it in. Drop into Q&A while we, I guess we wrap it up. Do we? All right, there we go. So I guess you guys all know, I thought it was a surprise that everybody was going to drum roll, boom. You're all getting a PTZ webcam out of the deal. William, you want to give them more details of what it is, the fine prize you guys are providing?
Absolutely. Yes. So for those of you who attended today, Mark, the producer on the Starin side, will have a list of attendees. For everyone that came today, first and foremost, we very much appreciate your attendance. The biggest thing that we do here above tech and designing cameras, which is our passion, is really providing useful information, educational information, not only to the distributors and the end users, but most importantly, the resellers. You guys are out there actively talking to clients, actively talking to customers, and using our cameras and the systems that you're designing, developing, and then deploying for your clients. So as a thank you for participating in these things that we love so much, we are sending out a PT webcam 80 to everyone that showed up today. It is our current model webcam that we have available. It's awesome. You guys are going to love it, and please use it every day. It creates an awesome image. So Mark is going to collect details from you guys, and we're going to go ahead and ship some out to you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for providing that wonderful prize. So real quick, in summary, let's just do a fast 5-minute right through. G2 line available currently. Everything is here in stock, ready to go. No problems. Let's get them out the door. They'll be available with no problem. That's usually a question that we get as far as obviously supply chain and stuff like that. But the G2 lines are all in stock and ready to go. So do not hesitate to put in your orders, guys. I'll talk to your Starin reps. We can take care of that fairly quickly and get that out to you. New line products, November 1st. Am I correct? With with some of them hitting the air, I guess the docks, I guess. Is that correct?
Yeah. Exactly. So Yeah, our target right now is to have pricing and pre-order availability delivered on November 1st or
That's
shortly
what I meant.
thereafter. So be on the lookout. You will receive an email from us and or Starin.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to say. The pre-order was November 1st.
Correct.
And then the products will be on their way. And as soon as the pre-orders are started, we will be able to give you an estimated date of when we're looking at the arrival of the new gear. And that is, when you're saying the new gear in 2023, that is the new Move series.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Did I miss anything? I think we got it all. Studio Pro and the new 4K webcam that's available currently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it. Guys, I don't think we can make it as simple as that. The products are there. Everything that you asked for, that you want in the cameras are available. These are great quality cameras. These are cameras that I use in my own internal studio, setting up and doing the things that I do for Starin. So take a look at this stuff. If there's any questions, if you guys have any concerns, feel free to reach out to myself, to the Starin rep. And again, one of the things that we in the town halls like to do is put faces to the products. We do not just like to sell boxes. We do not just want to move product out the door. We like to be able to work with you on this projects. So with that includes, hey, William, you're going to have to come with us on Along for the Ride. So yes, you do have William along for the ride with us and the availability to speak to them and all that sort of stuff. So our manufacturers are not just ghosts operating in the background. They are front and present and able to work with you. And if there is an issue, the folks over at PTZ can help. And I know because I run across some stuff and I've asked questions and they provide the answers. If there's anything that you guys still have outstanding, feel free to email us from our Starin website, and we will more than be happy to get the right information to you, including product links and product spec. That's all hot, and we can get that to you fairly quickly. So please do not hesitate. There is 3 questions that popped up into the Q&A. Let me double check.
Yes.
All right. And our new products seem awesome. Thanks. Can't wait to talk to them. Thank you, Steve, for the comment. All the other questions that he put to other things, but that is, we just answered that, Steve. So producer Mark will be in touch regarding the new webcams. Let me go ahead and click this out, because if not, I will. Perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If there is a chance that they didn't get all this information in one shot, where can we find out more information about you or PTZOptics, William?
So myself, LinkedIn, probably a great place to start there. Again, subtle joke. But yeah, most importantly, our websites are really the best place to find information out about PTZOptics and HuddleCam HD. We just rebuilt our websites and we tried to lump as much as we could in there and still have it a sleek UI UX design, which is exceptionally difficult to do. But most importantly, you can reach out to us. Actually, the phone number that is on PTZOptics and HuddleCam HD, when you call that, this rings. And that's just what we do to try and stay engaged with.
Now
if you have questions.
Now they're going to be.
My phone is.
It's going to be
100% going to ring if you hang up on this. But yeah, awesome. By all means, do give us a call. Reach out to us, partners@ptzoptics.com or partners@huddlecamhd.com as well. Goes to me and my team, and we'll always be able to help you out. And that's really what we pride ourselves on. So that's how you can reach out to us. And then more about me, my high school baseball stats and golf stats are probably in Village Times on Long Island. Not going to lie, kind of a hell of an athlete back in the day, but I peaked like Orson Welles.
Yes, please look for the William Golde rookie card. If you can find that, he will autograph it.
It'll be worth 1 cent.
but it'll be worth something. 1 cent more than mine. All right. So to wrap this up, folks, we do still have. Yes, PTZOptics was generous enough to give us a webcam for everybody, but there is a prize, and we know that you guys have come for the ultimate prize of $50 gift card to Amazon. I think that the camera is a nicer prize, but if you want to send me a camera, that'd be cool. Look at me. This is called humble bragging, asking. But the winner of the $50 gift card is Ben Sasson. Congratulations, Ben. You have won a $50 gift card. And to go along with your PTZOptics camera that we'll be receiving in the mail. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, getting to know the products that PTZ have to offer, and obviously getting to know William and what he brings to the table from PTZ. Accessible. He is somebody that you guys can count on in terms of getting all the information and product information. And if you need help in your presentation, these guys can do a remote presentation to your folks to show. This is something that you have access to. You set this up through your product account manager here at Starin. If you would like to see a remote demo, what better way to show cameras than to show them remotely and see what the other person sees? More so, I can bring that camera, put it in front of you, but what is it really doing? Yes, it's white. Yes, it's black. Yes, it's gray. And it's got cool glass. But what is it really doing? You'll see the wonders of it remotely. That's the best way to kind of demo the product. So let us know if that's something you want to do. We can arrange that and with some time and get that all taken care of. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and thank you again for joining us. My name's Chris Neto. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me all across the boards, but more importantly, you can find me here monthly hosting the Starin Town Hall. And this is something that we do for you guys, and hope you appreciate it and hope you like what we're putting out there. If there's something that we need to do extra, if there's more information that you guys are looking for that we do not provide, or if there are brands that you want to see highlighted on the town hall, just let us know. That's what we're here for. Thank you so much again, everybody, for joining us. This has been the Starin Town Hall.